practice, then I would really.
What's good, y'all? I haven't been on YouTube in a long time. I ain't gonna lie to you, but here we are. This is a new channel of mine where I want to, really talk to y'all and really get in deep with y'all on a personal level. Today, I want to go over this book that I've been reading, The Power of Self-Discipline. And this is going to be a new series where I just, take the books I've read and give you guys knowledge. If you look through here, you can see I got a lot of pink highlighted stuff. These are some of the things we're going to go over either today or in another video. I don't want to waste too much of you guys' time. Let's get into the first topic. So the first topic in this book, and the first thing I want to speak about, is how they talk about how action is the most important step, how important action is, and how, practice and experience is the best teacher. And the reason why I want to talk about this is something I fall guilty to myself, and I know a lot of you probably do as well. You be on YouTube, Google, doing a lot of research, watching videos of people teaching, and what you don't realize is this is all just, it makes you feel productive, so you forget that you're not really actually moving towards those goals. You're learning, you're gaining a lot of knowledge, and you feel like you're being productive, but the truth is you're really not moving forward at all. Yes, you're learning, but if you're not actually taking the things that you're learning and translating it into real life actions and actually using what you learned, then you're really just wasting time. You know what I mean? I catch myself doing this a lot, watching videos about how to do this, how to do that, but I'm not actually putting in the time to get better at it. It's all great, I'm not saying these people don't teach useful information and don't help you out, but if you aren't actually getting out there, you're not gonna get any better, I could watch hundreds of videos of how to shoot a basketball, how to get the perfect all net shot every single time. But if I'm not actually getting on that court, standing in front of that goal, getting my form right, and practicing shots, putting up shots, 50 shots a day, 100 shots a day, 200 shots a day, all that information that I just got was practically useless because I didn't actually use it in real life, you know what I mean? And, it's not going to be easy. It's not always going to be easy. Sometimes it's going to be difficult. But, we got to go through what we rather avoid sometimes to get to where we want to be and to be where we want to be. And that's the hard part, It's not always going to be comfortable. You're going to feel uncomfortable sometimes. And that's okay. Being uncomfortable is a sign that you're making progress, If you didn't have to go through being uncomfortable to get to any of your goals, everybody would be, highly successful. But it's how you can deal with the uncomfort. You realize that it's okay. In fact, you should be chasing that discomfort. You should be wanting to be uncomfortable every time. It's just showing you that it's kind of showing you your comfort zone. And if you're able to push through that, just take this. If this is your comfort zone right here, right? You got this comfort zone, your circle, you're in here. Every time you take that discomforting step, all you're doing is expanding it. Expanding your comfort zone. It gets bigger and bigger to the point where there's nothing you can't do, or almost nothing you can't do or accomplish. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the goal, something I'm personally working towards myself, and I want y'all to pay attention to and focus on as well. I want to talk about this sentence right here, discussing the position to be lucky. And this is something I heard a while ago, and I never understood until reading this book and taking a second to really reflect on it and think about what it really means. And people say luck. You have what you have because you're lucky. You are where you are because you're lucky. You get this and that because you're lucky. And sometimes, that could be the case, but when you step out of your comfort zone and you get out there and you really apply yourself, you realize that, luck is a real thing, but are you putting yourself in a position to be lucky? You know what I mean? Are you getting out there, getting a little uncomfortable to expand your comfort zone, putting yourself in the position to be lucky? If you're not out there, putting yourself out there, applying yourself, you're not even putting yourself in the position to be lucky. You know what I mean? Ja Morant is a perfect example of this. He was playing basketball in a gym, just perfecting his craft. Had he not been out there really working, hustling, he would have never got spotted by that coach that was, randomly walking by just to get a snack. Got him into college, and now he's in the NBA, was doing big and better things. We're not going to talk about that. But put yourself in the position to be lucky. You know what I mean? I feel like that's really important. That's something that I read and will really stick with me. Now I'm going to discuss self-discipline in the form that y'all are probably most familiar with. the form of actually getting yourself to do things you don't want to do at the moment, or stop yourself from doing things that you know will set you back from your goals. And I'm going to use, they do in the book, and I feel like it's a good example. I'm going to use weight loss as an example. You want to always look at the bigger picture. You know what I mean? You want to always have your goal in mind. Awareness is a big thing, and they stress that a lot in this book about how important awareness is and how to develop awareness and be able to just pay attention and pick up on times where you feel uncomfortable and be able to capitalize, in times where you feel like your self-discipline is at risk, and capitalize on that. And they say, if you're trying to lose weight, keep your goal in mind. Your goal is to lose weight. Your goal is to eat healthier, live a healthier lifestyle. You see a slice of cake, yes, the cake would be good, but that's only going to satisfy you temporarily. You know what I mean? Naturally, as humans, we do chase quick pleasure rather than, pleasure down the line. It says in this book somewhere, I'm not sure if I can find it, but it does state something about we are attracted to pleasure and avoid pain. So anytime we can avoid the pain and get the pleasure, naturally we choose the pleasure over the pain every time. Even though if you really sit there and think about it for just a few seconds before making a decision, you'll realize that the pain will cause much more long-term happiness and success than this quick satisfaction that will cause nothing but temporary happiness, and you'll end up feeling just as bad as when you started, if not worse. You know what I mean? Think about it. For eating healthier, for example, a slice of cake, think, man, that's delicious, I'm hungry. That's the pain, is the hunger. Man, this cake looks delicious, I would love to have a slice of this cake. Think about it for a second. You're gonna realize, if you take a second to think, that cake is gonna taste good, and you're gonna be satisfied for maybe 10-30 minutes at the most, but then you're gonna feel like, wow, I really set myself back over a slice of cake. But if you would have just took a second and think, man, right now this pain, this hunger, it hurts, I feel uncomfortable a little bit, but down the line, this is gonna benefit me. This is gonna lead me living that healthier lifestyle, losing that weight I want to lose, things like that. So that's very important to keep in mind and to pay attention to. Now, as far as getting yourself to do things that you don't really want to do at the moment, I'm gonna use myself for example. I want to learn the piano, right? And I was practicing piano, but some days, I got work. I go to work and I work long hours. Sometimes I don't want to come home or use my days off to learn the piano. I'd rather relax. You got to be able to push through those moments. Think to yourself, yeah, I want to relax, I want to watch TV. And you're going to get time to do that as long as you get the things that you want to do done. You know what I mean? You got to think, is watching TV, is sleeping all day, is playing video games, or any of those bring me closer to my goal? 10 out of 10. 9 times out of 10 it's not, depending on what your goals are, of course. And when you can ask yourself that, you gotta really think, you gotta be honest with yourself, and you gotta be strong-minded for sure. Just make life easier on yourself. Me, I want to watch TV, I want to take a nap. So, let me get in an hour or two, early in the morning of piano to get my practice in. That way I could have that already done, you know what I mean? The night before, tomorrow I want to relax, it's my day off, but I haven't played piano in a day or 2 or 3 days. Let me set it up. Let me set up my piano. Let me get my lesson ready for exactly what I want to practice tomorrow morning. Just making it easier. You know what I mean? Just make it easier on yourself. No need to make things difficult. Set yourself up for success. Every night, I plan out what I'm going to do the next day, plan out when I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do it. I give myself time to relax and things like that, because, rewarding yourself is always nice. I like this quote right here in this book. It says, giving up is often less painful than persevering, so we give up. Now, if you take a second to think, even, we probably don't even have to think about that and how true that really is. Giving up is always easier than persevering. You know what I mean? When you're in the gym, you're squatting, the weight is heavy, it hurts, your legs hurt, you feel uncomfortable. Uncomfort is progress. You want to chase that discomfort. Because soon what felt uncomfortable at some point is gonna feel natural and almost second nature, you know? And if you really want to push it a step further, once you get to that point, then you really want to make yourself even more uncomfortable. You want to chase that discomfort until it feels natural and second nature. But you're in the gym, you're squatting, it hurts, your legs hurt, the weight is heavy. It's easy to say, man, I did 2 reps. I'm gonna put the weight back up. It's easier to say that than it is to really get yourself to push for that 8 reps, that 10 reps, even to failure, you know what I mean? But even though you know, when you take a second to think that that's what's going to get you to where you want to be, that's going to get you the progress that you want, you deserve, you know you deserve. But it's just easier to give up and put that weight back on that rack. So that's what we naturally do. So it's moments like that where you got to take a second, and that's the awareness. You got to realize, man, I could feel myself wanting to give up. That's what I'm going to push through, and I'm going to keep going because I know it's going to get me closer to my goals. You know what I mean? Next topic I want to touch on, and this is, I'm trying to go through these topics quickly. I want you guys to, even though I'm giving you some information, I want you to actually pick up this book and read it for yourself so you can really take away, you know, your own details and everything like that. Now I want to discuss this right here. So it says right here, we've always been biologically wired to not think ahead and care most about the present moment, essentially the opposite of what self-discipline focuses on. Now, I want y'all to take a second and think, you know, recently, as recent as today, as recent as yesterday, you know, this morning, it could be anything like that. I want you to sit there real quick and think about when was the last time, or when was a time where you made a spare of the moment decision that you probably after realized wasn't the best decision, you know, without keeping your future in mind and considering your future. We do it all the time, you know. You do it, you did it today. I probably did it yesterday, you know. Everybody does it from time to time. That's just a minor setback. As long as you could come back to reality, you'll be all right, you know. Not everything's gonna be perfect, but just sit there and think of a time where you chose present pleasure over future success, you know what I mean? And take that and really take a second to reflect, realize what you could have done, how you handle it better next time. And when you think like this, you are able to, in the moment when things are happening, able to realize this and ask yourself this question in real time and make better decisions for your future. You know what I mean? Maybe it also could go for passing up opportunities. You see an opportunity, but because you're scared to hear no, or you fear rejection, or whatever the case may be, you decide to avoid it. As a whole, you know, you're not thinking of your future. You're not thinking of what you want. You know what I mean? And I've done this. You've done this. We've all done it. But it's about changing and progressing. And the past doesn't matter. Yesterday is yesterday. I can't do nothing about that. But I can definitely do something about what's happening in the future. I want to take a quick minute or two to just discuss how important the awareness is. You know what I mean? And the more you start to ask yourself these questions, the more you start to think about things, the more you will realize how many opportunities you really have been missing out on every day, and how many opportunities are really around you. It's just the awareness. Can you see it? Can you feel it? You know what I mean? You notice these things more when you pay attention and you have your goals in mind constantly. You know what I mean? You realize the potential. And I want you to really pay attention to that and really just keep your goals in mind. Not when I say constantly, I don't mean, you know, you're thinking about it from the moment you wake up to the night. Every single second of the day, you're just thinking about goals, No. You know your goals, they're in your mind. So when you see opportunities and you see things differently whenever you have them on your mind, you know, every decision you make, every opportunity you may have passed up in the past. Now that you have your goals in mind, you see, man, if I pass up on this opportunity, I won't get closer. Let's embrace that discomfort, embrace that pain for 1 minute to just get me closer to where I want to be. This pain, this discomfort is only going to last so long. It might be gone after, you know, 30 minutes, after 10 minutes, after 5 minutes. But, you know, imagine if you would miss out on the opportunity because you're trying to avoid that pain, avoid that discomfort. Imagine how much you miss out on in life. How do you ensure that you don't get rejected or fail at a task? You simply don't do it. You don't start it, you don't finish it. There won't be failure or disappointment because you don't allow the opportunity for judgment. A lot of y'all scared to hear no, scared to fail. Sometimes I am this person, I have been this person, but it's something I'm working on, something I want y'all to work on, right? You don't even really give yourself a chance to really find out. You just, put assumptions in your head and you plan out these fake scenarios of the worst possible outcome, something that the human brain naturally does, but it's setting you back. You don't even know what the outcome could be. You're just imagining the worst possible outcome, If you think you're always gonna hear yes, or that rejection is, you could just avoid rejection, you can't. Get that out of your head now. It'll make your life a lot easier soon. Once you get past the fact that it's impossible for every single thing in this world to go your way. But if you don't even try, nothing will go your way. And I'm gonna go ahead and make this this video part 1. I'm probably gonna do a part 2, part 3, part 4, because this is this book has a lot of details in it. Part 2, I want to get into the topic of probably excuses and a few other things. I know this video wasn't super long, but I hope you took away a few things. And I want to make videos, showing me applying these things in real life. And I feel like y'all could learn a lot from that. So that's probably what I'm going to do here on this channel, is just, I want to help y'all through self-discovery and, spending time with myself. I realized that, I have a lot of passions, and one of my passions that I recently realized I have is I love teaching people. I love helping people reach, the version of themselves they want to be, including myself. Help people open their mind a little bit, things like that. So that's what this channel is going to be. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Stay tuned, wait for the next one. I'm out.